Hi there guys, so Tyson Fury promoter Bob Arum and Top Rank promoter has explained that the rematch with Deontay Wilder will not take place in the UK and it will not take place in the US due to the coronavirus pandemic. So ultimately, this fight is looking for a new venue and a new country it seems. Now obviously, Anthony Joshua has done something similar. He's going to have to move away with Kubrat Pulev. Obviously not with Kubrat Pulev, but ultimately that date is going to have to be moved. The venue will have to be moved. They cannot do it in the UK because obviously if they do, they will not have a crowd. Same thing with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury in the US and even in the UK. They cannot have a crowd if they have that fight in the UK or the US, so ultimately they're going to have to move it. And the reason why is because of gate receipts. They're going to make a lot of money from gate receipts. If you think about Anthony Joshua selling out Tottenham Stadium, 70, 80,000 people, you imagine the gate receipt that they will lose if they do not have it in front of a crowd. So ultimately, they're going to move it to somewhere where they can have a crowd there. Same thing with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. They cannot have it this year realistically in the US or realistically in the UK because I don't believe that mass gatherings of people are going to be permitted. Maybe in the US, but ultimately people aren't going to want to take that risk, especially if the event's coordinators and promoters are responsible for any coronavirus outbreaks due to their event. So ultimately, they're not going to want to do that due to insurance reasons and things like that. So move it to a different country where they can have a crowd and try and make up some of that 17 million gate receipts that they will get from the gate due to a Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight being in front of a crowd. And Bob Arum has explained that that fight will not take place in the UK due to that very thing. This is what he had to say. You cannot do that event without making up the 17 million in gate revenue that you would otherwise lose. You can't do it. We have proposals from entities in 2 countries and we are now considering those options. So clearly there are 2 options for this fight. There's obviously going to be 2 different countries where this fight can go and different entities who are interested in taking this fight. I would imagine one entity would be Saudi Arabia. I'm guessing it would be that because they are keen to get more boxing in that region. So I would imagine possibly that one of them is Saudi Arabia. Tyson Fury has already been there with the WWE. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if that was one of the options for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. That is going to be an option, I believe. But ultimately, there is another country and another entity interested in taking that fight. So we don't know where this fight could end up. But ultimately, it will end up somewhere where there is a mass gathering of people, where there is a crowd, where there is a gate receipt. And if there is not, then the fight will not take place because they will just lose too much money on the gate. So ultimately, this fight needs to have a crowd. Same as Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev needs to have a crowd. So ultimately, I don't believe we can see these mega fights again until people are allowed to gather and watch them fight, whether that be in the UK, whether that be in the US, whether that be in a different country. That's ultimately what must happen before these fights are able to take place. If I'm honest, I don't really mind where the fights take place. I just want to see more boxing. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter whether it's in the UK, Timbuktu, America, wherever it is. It doesn't matter. These fights need to take place because we need sport. We need boxing back again. And I don't think any of us are going to really worry where it is as long as it is 10 o'clock or even 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's be real, we're going to watch it. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3 will likely take place outside of the US and the UK due to the fact that they cannot have crowds in those parts of the world. So anyway, guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.